Welcome to Violeta Ink. I'm Elena Casares. Today we have 6 spotlight cards. This is the finished project for the Lovely Peony class. So now we're gonna make it cards. So the first thing I wanted to do was to see what dies I could use. I want to maximize as much as I can how many cards I can make. So I started getting a few dies, and I got these dies out first. But then I realized I need to make mats, not just the frame. So I decided on this one. All the links are gonna be in the description box. And now I want to make sure that I have enough of my coloring showing in the card, in the mat, and then I'm leaving a little space for the sentiment. I am making thank you cards. I have a lot of people that I need to be thankful to, so that's what I decided. The first thing I did was to decide what size my card notes are going to be, and they are going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now I need to decide, how do I want my cards to show? Do I want them horizontal? Do I want them vertical? How big do I want the image to be? And then what colors I'm gonna be combining it with. This is going to be my sentiments. Well, the size of the sentiment. I did not want to be stamping on this image just because I'm not the best stamper, and I would be devastated if I was to stamp and it's all blurry and it doesn't look right. So I'm just gonna die cut a few sentiments, thank you sentiments, and then I'm going to just add it to the image. So this looks better to me because I have enough of the image that you can tell what's going on. And then I'm gonna mark where I'm gonna be cutting. I need to cut it first just because I'm nervous. So I need to cut it first before I even do the die cutting. I am using a very pale Prismacolor pencil, making sure I leave enough space for my sentiment because I don't want the sentiment to be on top of the coloring as much as I can. Very carefully cutting the image that took me 2.5 hours to color. This is another space where I thought, I don't have a lot of the image on it, but it still gives me space to do the sentiment. Now, for some of you that are better stampers, it will be great for that little space to have a stamp on. Now, again, we're gonna mark it. I need to make sure that I do not have too much space that is not used, like too much leftovers, just because I want to use every single little piece of this image. This one, I'm thinking I am going to do an eclipse die cutting technique. And now on this one, the first thing I thought is, I'm going to fussy cut all these little parts and put it on top of the card. So because of that, I decided to use the bigger die. This is a set of 5 dies. And it just makes these cute stitch marks that are kind of clunky, they're not straight. So because this is a different size die, we need to be very, very sure that we don't cut all the way down when I cut this image right now. Now that I see myself cutting this, I see that I could have had 7 images, but because I'm using the bigger one in the bottom, it's gonna be only 6. So I didn't trust myself with the guillotine, so that's why I'm doing it with the scissors, because I knew I might just cut it all off. And now I get to decide, this is the last piece that I have. So I can use this small matte die cut, or I can use the big one. So I'm deciding on the big one since I just have a lot of space there. And don't worry, that small little leaves in the bottom, we are gonna use them. So you can utilize your whole image. And you're not only gonna make one card, because imagine spending 3 hours coloring and then half an hour making a card for one card. No. This way, you are gonna be able to see 6 cards. And now I already die cut all of my mats. And the paper you see in the background, this is the paper I'm gonna be using. You're gonna see more of my personality here. This is the card that I said we're gonna use the eclipse technique. So I went with this die sentiment that has 2 words, the shadow of the tanks and then the word tanks. We can make so many combinations with it. So I have some solids and I have some of the very eclectic paper, and I cut mats the same size that we used before on different colors and different sizes, just to make sure that I had a good grasp as to what I'm doing. I like this a lot. So that is a yay! That's my first card. Remember that our note cards are 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That was too much. That was maybe a little bit too different. This paper, this eclectic paper, I got it at Amazon. All the links are gonna be in the description box. This one I liked. And then of course, having so many choices, I keep changing it and adding this and remove that. It is fun because every single one of the parts that you use, that you color in your image, you want to maximize it. You want it to look so cool. Now, here, right here, I really like this now that I see it, but I didn't go with this choice. I do not remember exactly what I did, but we'll see right now. I just thought it would be too clashy. It would clash too much. And while I like it, I didn't know if the person that I sent it to will actually like it 100%. I want to show my personality, but I want them to like it too. Here I was trying to reinvent the wheel, you know, thinking, oh, I could do it this way and I could change it. And no, I just went center and then choose the colors, choose whatever you think. And the best way for me to work on this was to cut all the mats, because now I can see how it was gonna look. Because when it's still the whole page, it's very difficult to do. Again, we want our coloring to be the center space, the center of this card, of all the cards. It took me, again, about 2.5 hours. And it is a class, our first class for 2020. You will see the link. And it is colored with Copic markers and colored pencil. The details are always with Prismacolor color pencils. And it is colored in cryogen paper. It's a little bit shimmery, so it adds to the whole thing. And I like that one. This is our next one. I keep trying to use this paper. but then I put it back. I wasn't 100% sure. As you can see, I love pinks. I love bold colors, eclectic colors. And I had this paper for a very long time. And I just thought, why don't you just use it? It's just there. And I don't need a big piece. This package came with little pieces and, the full 8.5 by 11. Now, I thought that this was too much for this card, like the print on the pink paper in the background. So if I add this white die cut, it makes it look a little bit less flashy, in my opinion. And I did cut the word thanks in the shadow many times in different colors, just to have options when I'm choosing all this. Now, I like that one, but I don't remember how did it end up. This is a surprise for me too. No. Don't forget to subscribe. We are going to be having a lot more of this kind of videos where I show you how to make a lot more cards, not only one. So they're going to be a little bit longer. I'm trying to speed it up so you can see the whole process. But it is going to be because I am going to be coloring all my images. And then the images that I color are going to be pretty much all the time in 8.5 by 11 cryogen paper sheet. So they're going to be that big. And I will show you how to balance your cards. Like, you don't want to use too much of the coloring in one image to the point that you lose the opportunity to make 3 more. So this is how I die cut. I have a scan and cut, but this coloring is too precious for me to actually put it in the scan and cut. And what if something happened and you didn't cut it right? So just fussy cut it. Oh, I love this gold. All the items that I'm using will be in the description box. I keep using this paper from Tim Holtz. It's a package that my friend Barbara told me that she loved, and I'm like, well, I need it. So I went and got it too. And I just keep using it. You've seen me use it a few times in our videos. This is the little leaves that I told you I was not gonna waste. I wanted them here in this image. In the class, I will show you how to color every single one of these pieces, from the clover to the peony, and the balance that we use. When you have an image that is done by a professional artist, like this image that is from PowerPoppy, the image is already balanced. It has the sizes balanced. The peony is a large peony. The clematis, they have 3, 4 clovers, and then we have several hydrangeas, the petals and the leaves. So the image is balanced, but when we, as the one that is coloring it, we need to balance the colors, and I will show you how to do that in this class. In this video, I am showing you how to balance the image that you are cutting from your original project. So we need to balance it with bigger mats, with your sentiment, the colors that you're using, and how eclectic you like it. You might want to do white on white. I love that combination too, white on white. we are using double-sided foam tape. I want this part to be lifted. To kind of look like it's like a window treatment, something like that, on the top of it. You see the contrast between the very deep color of the mat and the coloring, which is light and fluffy. Well, maybe not fluffy, but light. This one's gonna be in the back. It's gonna be in the background. You're only gonna see a little bit of it. Okay, and now this is what I do with every single one of my die cut sentiments. I cut 3 or 4, and then I use the connect glue to glue them together. I like for it to look thick. I feel that it looks more elegant. It looks like you put more effort into it. But in reality, it's not that much effort. It's just that it looks beautiful. That was three die cuts of the things, the shadow of the things. And now we're gonna do this one in gold. It's the same paper from the Tim Holtz book. And now to decide where am I gonna place it. It has to be balanced. We're gonna put it right there. And then I wanted to add a little bit more of shine. I do not want to use anything on top of my coloring. So I'm just gonna add this. This is from Pretty Pink Posh. I love her embellishments. These are little dots, like water dots. And these 3 are going to be throughout all the cards that we're making today. Okay, next. So we are going to add double-sided tape and just add this mat to our note card. This one is supposed to tone down all the colors and texture of the mat that we're using for this. So according to me, that was so it won't look too eclectic, but it may look busy, but I like it. This is the mat I decided to use. Again, when you cut a lot of them and you have them ready, you can just change them and do this and do that. So you can decide which one you like the best. This is double-sided tape. Foam tape. And my tool is somewhere around here. I think I'm getting more experience to doing it without the tool and just use my nails. So now we have the space to put our things. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use more bling, but then I already have a very eclectic kind of coloring going here. So I decided to go with the black and white. I hope the music is better this time. I keep lowering it and somehow it's still loud. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know. Do you think the music is too loud? Leave me a comment so I'll know if I need to lower it more. And it goes perfect in there. And now we're gonna do the dots. They're like water drops. They look so cute. I think I've got a little bit of glue on my tool here, my jewel picker. And I decided to put 3 more. By the way, we also have a free class going on today. I mean, now. I'll put the link on the description box. It's a Copic and colored pencil class. Ta-da! Okay, next. Now, when you're seeing me assemble this one, please notice that on the top of the screen, you're gonna see where I have all my jewels, my water drops, right? And then to the right, you're gonna see the lid of it. Don't do that. Close it as soon as you can. You'll see why. So I am starting with a white on white background. I love to use this glue because I can move my whatever I'm gluing. I'm using double-sided foam tape. There, you see? It's a huge mess now. I did try to be neat, but I had so many things going on there that all of a sudden I had a lot of things in my desk. I love this double-sided tape. It comes in this huge round wheel. I use it a lot, but it lasts a long time. Okay, so now we're gonna place it. This paper, I believe it's called Chinese paper. It's thinner than your regular cardstock, so just be careful when you're placing it. So, do I want it this way? Do I want it this way? I like it this way. Double-sided tape again. I mean foam tape. I did have other jewels outside available just in case I wanted them, but I like the combination of the clear drops. And this one's gonna go right there. And now I wonder what I'm doing there. I had already, so you don't have to see me do this every single time. I had already glued the 3 white shadows of my tanks. So now I'm only gonna add this part. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button. And now we're just gonna add the thanks. And I did feel that it needs a little bit more on the top, and that's where I'm gonna place my 3 dots. Yeah, they're difficult to catch sometimes. Next. So I started adding all these white backgrounds to the cards just to see if I liked it, and I did like it a lot. I should have cut this part, but I don't know why. It's still there with my arm. This is the die cut that we did from the first image that we did. The one that has the eclipse technique. And I think it will get lost, so I decided not to use that one. So I'm using these 3, again, white. Okay, so now we start assembling it. And I ran out of tape, so I'm gonna be using other tape right now. Am I the only one that has a hard time loading new tape on the pink tape gun? So we are adding the die cut. At this moment, I can't remember where I got this die from, but I'm sure I'll find it and put it in the description box. And I like it. This is one of the bigger size mats that we use for in our project. Now we're using double-sided tape for the image. And try to place it as straight as you can. And now we're gonna add the thanks to it. I'm running out of tape. I mean gun. No, it's not a gun. It's glue. And now we're gonna add the 3 dots. Oops, I'm adding 5. Wow. I picked up this water drops from all the mess I have that you cannot see right now. They're like everywhere. And next, this background shiny paper. It is from the Tim Holtz book. I'm using the book a lot. This year, I don't want to buy a lot of stuff. I don't want to be buying the new things all the time. I'm sure I will buy some new dies, but I want to use everything I have. I don't want to be wasting anymore or not to know what I have. I have this paper and I love it and I'm going to use it. And I will use in different videos, different techniques, but I do love it. This is the other tape that I'm using instead of the pink gun tape. So we're placing the first mat. Now the second mat, which is a die cut. I think these are called die cut backgrounds. I want to say this is from Gina Marie, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Oh, I think this matches so beautifully. And I'm making my thick shadow, which I had not done. And now we're using, I'm gonna say double-sided foam tape. Yes. There is a free download in the description box with all the measurements, the paper I used, and pictures of all the cards. I love this color. Love, love, love this color. And we are in the 3 dots. As soon as these dots cooperate. That one's done. And the last one. This is the one that has the eclipse technique. And you can see from what I first thought that I wanted to do, it changed completely. And I like this. This is a cleaner look, and really the spotlight of this card is going to be the coloring. So we go with white on white. And then this is gonna go right there. And we're just adding glue because I want the sentiment to be popping up. This is white. Did I already do the 3? Yeah, I already stacked 3 die cuts for the shadow, and now we're just gonna add the word, which is in a deep burgundy. And this is my final card, so I'm just adding the die cut. Let me know if you think that you would like to see more videos like this with the 6 cards or 3 cards, depending on the size of the project. Thank you for watching. And now you get to see all of them together. Goodbye.